This is the original Smith & Wesson kit gun, the Model 22-32 or the Model 34-1. Let's check it out. This is the original box and the original paperwork from 1969. Smith & Wesson originally dubbed these the 22-32 kit gun. It was based on the I-frame 32 Smith & Wesson and was later changed to the J-frame around 1960 or 1961, in which time they called it the Model 34. They called it a kit gun because this is something they expected people to throw in their backpacks and take with them when they go backpacking or hiking, something they could use for dispatching small critters and snakes and things like that when they're out in the woods. Originally, they came out in a 4-inch barrel, and later they were offered in this short 1 7/8 or 2-inch barrel that you see here. This is a very good example of a Model 34. Well, this is a review that I always hoped I'd be able to bring you, and I never knew if it was going to be possible. This is my new-to-me Smith & Wesson Model 34-1 22 long rifle snub-nose revolver. This is an all-steel frame snub-nose revolver. It is a 6-shot on the J-frame platform. Originally, when these came out, they were called a 22-32 kit gun because they were actually made on the Smith & Wesson I-frame, which traditionally was a 32 Smith & Wesson. Somewhere around 1961, they switched over to the J-frame. This is a J-frame version, and this is a kind of a mid-year model, so I believe this is a 1969. It has 34-1 on the frame, but it does not have a B prefix on the serial number. So I contacted a Smith & Wesson historian. He said he believes this is a 1969 model. Somewhere around 70 or 71, they started putting a B as a prefix on the serial number. So this is an older model. Why did I want this particular pistol? It's a 22 long rifle. It's only a 6-shot. It's not like a spectacular handgun, but to me, the quintessential best quality Smith & Wesson firearms are these 60s and 70s, maybe even a little bit older, but I like the 60s and 70s and up into the 80s Smith & Wesson J-frame and K-frame revolvers. This is back when you still had a pinned barrel. They did that all the way up until 1982, I believe. This is the quintessential gun, or at least the J-frame is, the snub nose that you see in all the old cop movies that either the bad guys or the cops would carry as a backup. Now, the particular gun that I have is actually missing the entire rear sight assembly. So this is supposed to have adjustable target sights on the rear. This particular one they were missing. However, I did find some on eBay for about $60, and they should be here in the next couple of days, and I'll put those on. But I wanted to get a video put together of this gun just because I'm in awe of this thing. I'll put some pictures in this video as I go through it. I have shot this. I took it out the other day, and I put about 30 rounds through it, so I haven't put a lot of rounds through it, but I just wanted to try it, even though it doesn't have rear sights on it. It shot very well. I mean, for what it is, a little tiny snub-nose revolver, a steel frame snub-nose revolver that shoots 22, it is the perfect balance, the perfect round to shoot out of this gun for learning how to shoot. It's a pretty reliable gun as long as you use good ammo in it, and it's very concealable because it's a small gun. But it is the quintessential small Smith & Wesson J-frame. This particular one, I've been looking for one of these for over a year, at least a year and a half, if not longer than that. And I found a couple of them for sale now and then. Last year I found one and it sold within a day. I actually found one about 2 weeks ago at a shop local to me and called, and they said it had sold pretty much right before I had called on it. They had it boxed up ready to ship out. And then the next day, this one popped up for sale at another local shop, and the price was about on par for what I've seen them start out at on Gunbroker, but it said it has the box and the paperwork, And when I went and looked at it, I showed up at the shop right when they opened. I had tried calling them the night before and leaving a message. I tried calling all the way there. They don't pick up their phone until they open. So literally I was the second guy in the door at 9 o'clock on New Year's Eve. And I ran right over to the Revolver case and I said, I want to see that 34-1. He pulled it out and I started looking it over and I was just absolutely in love with it. I don't think this gun had ever been shot before I bought it, and I'll roll some pictures in here and tell you why. The front of the cylinder had absolutely no powder burn marks on it, no powder rings, none of that stuff, no marks that it had ever been cleaned. The forcing cone on this was still perfectly shiny. You could see the bevel on the forcing cone. There was no flame cutting above the forcing cone. There was no powder buildup there. There was no powder buildup, no cylinder marks or round marks on the back of this thing at all. And the bluing in it is just in very good shape. There's like a little tiny bit of wear on the very front of the muzzle. Not a big deal. But otherwise, the bluing on this gun is phenomenal. I mean, there's no bluing wear on the bottom of the trigger guard. There's no bluing wear on the frame. There's a little tiny spot of rust over here on the frame that kind of took the finish off when I cleaned it the first time. It was just dirty. It was dusty. It wasn't even like full of sand dust. It was just like lint that was stuck above the forcing cone and stuff. Came with the original box, came with all the original paperwork, came with the original toolkit that's never been opened, and I'm just absolutely blown away by this. While I was doing the paperwork to purchase this, the clerk said there had been 3 more phone calls since I had showed up to try to buy this thing from other different people. So definitely, if I hadn't been there, it would have sold. I tried to talk the seller down because it was on consignment, just because it was missing the rear sight, and they weren't having it. They said, you know, somebody else will be willing to pay it. And I said, fine, I'm not going to qualm over the price. It was still fairly good, but I did have to buy the rear sight. But still, for me, the fact that it came with the original box, it came with all the paperwork, and the box is the box for this gun. The grips on it, I believe, are the factory grips, although the digits on the serial number on the grips are off by 2,000, so I think it was a misstamp when they stamped it. But still, all factory, everything in it. It just, the action on this thing is phenomenal. When I took it out and shot it, and I tried to get video of it, but my camera battery died because it was so cold out the other day when I was at the range, so I did not get any shooting footage of it, but I will soon. But when I took it out and shot it, I just couldn't believe, even at 30, 35 feet, the target I was shooting at with no rear sights, I was still able to hit the target. I just had to kind of figure out where to put the front sight to be able to hit it. So I figured because it's supposed to have a really tall rear sight on it, I would probably have to put the entire front blade basically in the valley on this, and then even up above it a little bit to be able to hit my target, and that's right where I was. But again, this is just something that I have been waiting a couple of years to buy. And honestly, the J-frame snub nose, to me, it's my favorite revolver of all time. But to be able to find one in 22 long rifle that's in this nice condition is just like, to me, it's like a once in a lifetime thing. I don't find a lot of guns in this condition that I can afford. And the prices on these have gone up quite a bit, but honestly, I think what I paid for this one was not much more than what the market has been all along. And I paid a lot less for this than what they've been selling for on Gunbroker. So I'm happy with it. Model 34-1 Smith & Wesson J-frame in 22 long rifle. They still make speed loaders for this. This is I think it's a J22 speed loader. Yep, 22J. So you can still get speed loaders for this. And because it's a 22 long rifle, you can shoot 22 long rifle, you can shoot 22 long, you can put 22 short, you can shoot shot shells in this thing. But this one's probably just going to get a good diet of high quality plated lead round or plated round nose or plated hollow point. I got some stingers in the speed loader right now, but I'll probably only shoot things like stingers, CCI mini mags and things like that through it, and try to keep good quality ammo going through this. No like really crap stuff. I get some club target ammo here and some, Aguila 22 subsonic hollow point. I'll just put a random variety of stuff through there, but I'm not going to put real dirty, nasty ammo through this. Like I wouldn't put any Thunderbolt or anything like that through it. I'll try to give it a steady diet of good ammo just because it's such a nice gun. But there you have a short video, cranky gun reviews on my nice Model 34-1 Smith & Wesson J-frame revolver. Thanks for watching. God bless America. Make sure you support your 2A rights. And like Buffalo Outdoors says, when somebody asks you to give up some of your freedom for the greater good, make sure that you remind them that your freedom is the greater good. Have a great day.